102.1 KFMA, Oro Valley, Tucson, an Arizona Lotus Corp radio station. Listen online at KFMA.com. You want it? You got it. Reality radio done right. No nonsense, real and raw, just like you like it.
He's corrupt, he's inexperienced, and he lies.
Broadcasting from a broom closet in the Arizona Lotus studios, it's Beef Vegan Presents.
Yo, welcome back to the show. It's Beef Vegan Presents live on Rock 102.1 KFMA, streaming worldwide at KFMA.com on this beautiful Monday, April 15th. Good morning, Weirdo.
Good morning.
And good morning, Tucson. Thank you guys for tuning in on tax day. Yes, it's April 15th. It's the day to file for your extensions. Be like, oh, no, damn it. Crap. Yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I was thinking about doing taxes yesterday. I pulled up the website and immediately was like, nah.
I'm going to nope right out of this.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I guess it's stressful. It only gets stressful as you grow older and you start making money. I got the first part covered. Second part is not really an issue. Kind of messing up on taxes past last year. Mm-hmm. And I figured, I don't really make much. So talking about pennies on the dollar. I'm admitting too much to start off the day. Right. It's we got a huge week lined up for us, Weirdo. Mm-hmm. This is your last week on the show, which is sad news. But we'll celebrate
for a minute, and then I'll be back. To visit at the podcast broadcast.
Yeah. Nobody cares about that, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? You're like, great, you're going to be in 9 o'clock. We work at 9. But we're going to celebrate you this week, and we're going to wrap things up on Friday with a super show, including Beef Beard Envy. So we got a lot of contestants this year for the Beard Envy to see who has the most glorious beard. And hopefully, I believe we have Kevin Smith coming in studio that Friday morning. So he'll be one of the judges as well. So yeah, Silent Bob, who's not so silent when you put a microphone in front of his face, for sure. Over the weekend, it was a weekend of highs and lows, to be honest with you. My Friday night consisted of feeling both extreme emotions. Now, on Friday night, I was at the Roadrunners games. We had back-to-back games against Colorado Eagles. The importance of those games were significant. If we won those games, we were going to lock in home of playoff ice advantage for the playoffs in the first round of the playoffs. And luckily, we won those games back-to-back. Nice. So we guaranteed the playoff spot for the first round is going to be home ice. There's 3 games that was announced. Those games will be all during, times when I was previously booked. So I got to move around my schedule. But we have I think it's Wednesday the 23rd, Friday the 26th, and then Sunday the 27th. Those 3 games, home ice games for your Tucson Roadrunners first round of the playoffs. First time we've hosted playoff games since 2018.
Nice.
So that's big. So Friday night, while we're there at the game, we're all rooting on our team. The news breaks that the Coyotes actually did get sold to Utah, meaning that the Arizona Coyotes are going to move to Salt Lake City as early as next season, which means there's a whole bunch of uncertainty in the air as to the future of the Tucson Roadrunners, considering they're kind of attached at the hip. Based off the information that's given right now and everything that's been kind of leaked and different announcements that the Coyotes have made in the past few weeks, has definitely been confusing their fan base and making them frustrated because a lot of people believed it was a done deal. They were moving to North Scottsdale, present company included. Mm-hmm. All right. So that wasn't the case at all. It looks like the Coyotes owner is still going to own the AHL's Tucson Roadrunners. But does that mean the Roadrunners stay? Well, there's a lease for Mullet Arena and Tempe that they need another year on. And there's speculation that he might move the Roadrunners to Mullet Arena for 1 year. That doesn't make too much sense. People in Tempe haven't been going to NHL games. So it's not like they're going to line up around the block for an AHL game.
Right.
So, there's a lot of uncertainty in the air. And I can just tell you as a representative of the Tucson Roadrunners, we know nothing. All right. I talked to the president, Bob Hoffman, about it. Still, really, it could be anybody's guess. He feels very optimistic that the Tucson Roadrunners will remain in Tucson and potentially continue to be the AHL representative of the team that's in Utah. And there are direct flights from Tucson Airport to Salt Lake City. Yeah. So fingers crossed on us continuing to stay. But that means there's a lot of emphasis on this team now. Now the Phoenix Coyotes are going to be wrapping up or Arizona Coyotes are going to be wrapping up their season this week. And that means the boys will be done with the NHL regular season, and they're going to ship down all of our all-stars that we shipped up to the Coyotes throughout the year to really make this playoff run be as significant as possible.
Yeah.
So the idea is, put a silver lining and a bow around this, poo salad and, win a championship and win a championship for the very first time and create and begin championship culture and then mentality with the organization. So that would be fantastic.
Yeah.
So that's what we have to be excited about. And at the very same time, not to be a Debbie Downer on a Monday, but I want to let you know all the things that are going through my head in between me saying, make some noise. I'm also closely following World War III breaking out with Iran attacking Israel.
Oh, God.
And what was a 300 missile / drone attack on Israel's, homeland. And they had their Iron Dome essentially defend it, which is a very impressive feat, by the way.
Mhm.
But, so much conflict in the Middle East as it continues to grow. There's uncertainty on that. And there's world leaders, including our president, reaching out to, the Israeli prime minister saying, just take the win, dude. They attacked you as a retaliation for something you did. You were able to defend that attack.
Mhm.
Just take that dub and walk away. But unfortunately, we'll see if cooler heads prevail. That's global politics that's happening right now. And you saw World War III trending on Twitter for the majority of the weekend.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. And meanwhile, you were out camping, making sweet love under the stars, not worrying about any of this. So I'm jealous, basically. But with all that set aside, and even though it's tax day and everything else, we still have a fantastic distraction of a show for you today. Confession session is going to be back. We're going to give out the very coveted Pima County Fair wristbands.
Ooh.
Yes, we have wristbands to give away for the Pima County Fair today. Also, we're going to be giving away tickets for the Great 420 Fest, which is happening at The Rock. I think Powers is hosting that. And so that's... If you don't win those tickets, it'll be $25 at the door.
Oh.
Yeah. At The Rock. And I'm like, ooh, okay. Who you got headlining there? $25. I'm like, who's on the bill? And like As the World Burns, okay. Alien Atmosphere, okay. And a couple other local bands. Okay, $25. Okay. This is gonna be free weed at the venue.
Something.
No, it's gonna be fine. So you want to win these tickets because it'll save you at least $50. So $50 worth of value for the Great 420 Fest that we'll be giving away a little bit later on. That and your morning moron coming up after Bush. Let's kick things off with System of a Down. Coincidentally, not trying to plan anything, but your morning moron's coming up next on Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, there you go. That was our show open. Good morning, everybody. And yes, I don't know the answer to how many AHL teams are not in the same state as their NHL affiliate, but there are several for sure. NECL teams as well. That's Eastern Championship Hockey or League. So, yes, it is very possible that the Roadrunners can stay. I don't know. But as soon as I do find out, even before they let me know that I can tell people, I'll probably tell people. Which is probably why they won't let me know. But I do know that the AHL committee, right, they meet, and I believe in May or June, and they're going to vote on whether or not the team will be allowed to move if that was the option. Okay, so it's interesting. This, of course, happened during the game, changed the energy of the crowd and everybody at the game, all the diehards, because they all saw that mid-game. And of course, there was conversation amongst the staff behind the scenes about what does this mean, So yeah, it was a heavy night, it was a heavy night that we capped off with a win, and we went back-to-back wins on that, which is huge. And having the first round of the playoffs be home is going to be super fun. I was obviously the arena host when we had home playoff games in 2018. And it was a blast, man. So the timing of that couldn't have been better, with the exception of one of these playoff games being on Friday the 26th, which I was supposed to introduce Rome, Sublime with Rome, at the Pima County Fair, which I still might do. I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted. I don't want Roadrunners fans to blame me if the team loses, because there are fans out there that keep stats on everything. And they had a beef stat saying that we win games like we win 66% of the games that I end up hosting. So like we have a greater win percentage when I am the arena host as opposed to Yaz or Crystal. And I'm like, I'll take that. That's job security. Thanks, sure. Okay. It's all because of me. The way that I say make some noise is different the way they say make some noise. And that is the key difference maker in a championship team. You need a chubby dude to be able to scream at the crowd, to get loud from time to time, to really get the team on the same page.
You just need that good hype man.
Yeah, I need credit for assistant coach. Rock 102.1 KFMA, that is Daughtry. Daughtry is an artist that Weirdo met and struck up like, a moment with. Like she had a connection. And that's the type of connection that you're not going to get on a regular basis being a hairstylist. Point that out right now.
Okay.
Join us on the podcast broadcast as we're about to debut for you a video that Rico and I put together about our adventure to the only sweet tomatoes in all of Tucson. I'd play the audio for you on the air, but it's a little not safe for work because, when Rico and I go on a bro date, we like to keep things uncensored. So we're going to be sharing that as a world debut with you on the podcast broadcast. Got your TMI top 5, including the benefits of being a good-looking person, coming up after music from Linkin Park. But we'll kick things off with Nirvana. It's Lithium. A Rock 102.1 KFMA. It's the podcast broadcast. YouTube.com/BeFegan. You know the name of the show. Let's go. All right, all the catchphrases squeezed right in there. All right, so like I said, as promised, this is Rico and I's Sweet Tomatoes adventure. I haven't even seen this yet in its entirety.
Okay.
Yeah, so a little debut for you. Check this out.
So what do you got planned today?
Going to Sweet Tomatoes.
You say Sweet Tomatoes?
Yeah, dude.
Didn't they close that down?
They did, but it's back, and we have the only Sweet Tomatoes in the entire country.
What?
Yes.
You gotta be me.
You want to go? Because it's sad when a fat guy goes to a buffet by himself.
Yeah, that's a good point. All right, I'm in.
Yes, let's go Sweet Tomatoes. Huh? Sorry, we're kind of with a media organization. Excited about this. So 2, yes. Okay. All right, I love your hairnet. It looks good though.
Yeah, boy.
It does. Okay, so as I was saying, growing up, I used to love going to all-you-can-eat buffets, and when I had a daughter, my favorite daddy-daughter date night spot was Sweet Tomatoes, because it's a buffet, but then it's also healthy. Then something terrible happened. In 2020, the COVID pandemic came and shut down all buffets, and with that, every single Sweet Tomatoes went out of business. And we thought we'd never be able to have the delicious sweetness of Sweet Tomatoes, cheesy bread, soup, and unlimited salad. But then, just about a month ago, they announced that they're opening up a Sweet Tomatoes in Tucson, and it's the only one in the world. So Rico and I had to come check it out, and we're hoping to come on a slow time, about 2:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday. This is what a slow time looks like.
I was telling Beef I've never once in my life been excited about salad, but he's telling me it's worth getting excited over, right?
It's a rabbit's dream, dude. Unlimited salad and lettuce for days. It's nothing but vegetables and carbs.
We're close to the door, bro.
So excited. I've only waited 2 hours, but I know that salad's still gonna be fresh. That soup's still gonna be hot. Those breadsticks are still gonna be so hard. Sweet Tomatoes revolutionary where like even before you pay, you just start getting food. So you know what you're getting before you go to the cashier. And then they look at you, they judge you, and then they charge you. It's beautiful. Caesar Greek. It's Greek and Caesar at the same time. That there's more potassium in spinach than bananas. People think bananas have the most potassium, but that's actually a lie. Do you know that? It's legit. There's always like items in the menu or in the buffet that's questionable. There's always items in the buffet that's questionable, like cranberry. Who puts cranberry on their salad? Or is this a beet? I think it might be.
I think it's a beet.
Damn it. Well, then I'm gonna load up on them. Look at me. I just dropped the beet.
Oh, Dad. I'm not a mushroom guy.
Just take the tip. Just take the tip. It's all soups, dude. And if you know how to do Sweet Tomatoes right, you go for the super soup. It's basically like a suicide drink at a 7-Eleven where you get every flavor. All the flavors. Stuffing it good. Do that.
Cheesy garlic focaccia, forget about it. Chocolate lava cake. Next up, my thighs. Choo choo.
Oh, look at you. A man of culture.
Mm-hmm. We said water. You don't have to get water. You can fill up whatever. They're not watching. Dude, this is not water.
What makes you think I'm not going to tell him you just did that?
I paid for your meal. That's what. Uncle Beef is a criminal.
So what are you in for, bro? I put juice in the water cup at Sweet Tomatoes.
That's right. Notice how this is a Carbapalooza. Minimal protein. The closest thing I got to protein is this egg, which with bird flu breaking out right now, it's not suggested. I live dangerously. And maybe the chicken in my suicide soup here. But that's it. I was like, excuse me, you got any chicken for your salad? And they were like, get out.
Go on, get
Chicken.
Sexy ass looking potato there, my friend.
Thank you. You didn't do a potato, huh?
No, I just got a hot mess of a salad, I think it's called. It's like what Morrissey throws up after a night of partying. Would you still go to this place when you're super high? Would be a good spot? It is tasty.
This is actually the first time I've went to Sweet Tomatoes not super high.
Looks like the pizza you got in 3rd grade
Oh, yeah.
in the cafeteria.
It's tasty, though.
They're striking that nostalgia chord for sure.
Smash.
Me and Uncle Beef here were saying how amazing it would be to take a girl on a date here. After we get the in with management, so we get that sweet key to the city, the golden tomato. No lines, babe.
No lines.
No lines.
VIP panty dropper for sure.
Hey, girl, you want to go to Sweet Tomatoes?
This is a generational plate. Caesar salad, Greek salad, tuna salad, custom salad.
A man of culture. All right, maybe Beef was right. This place is making me a believer. Rest in peace, Smash Mouth guy. Can you believe how fast they replaced the Smash Mouth guy?
Yeah, like that all-star money. I believe it.
What would you do if you had Shrek money?
I'd open up 3 more Sweet Tomatoes. Oh! There was a lot of talk when the pandemic hit and all these buffets shut down. That buffet culture essentially was over. But this is America, and we brought it back into big time. So it's safe to say buffet culture is back.
Being the guy that runs this place, knowing he struck gold. It's the only one. People love novelty. Americans love buffets. This guy's a king in this town.
Yep. New mayor running on the platform that he runs the only Sweet Tomatoes in the country. They're like, what else do you believe in? And that's it. Unlimited salad and breadsticks, baby. Cheesy bread pizza. Macaroni and cheese on the backside.
Do you think that Sweet Tomatoes had a competition clause with Olive Garden? They didn't want to do the breadsticks? You don't want to mess with the Olive Garden mafia.
This is how you, so you know that you're going back for more. So you're like, take these, but leave the other stuff. Because I'm not done. Not by a mile.
It's an art form.
Ooh, yeah. Ooh.
Just had a violation on round 2.
I put the dirty dishes on the edge of the table. I put my half-eaten salad all the way against the wall. Being like, don't take this, take this. You see where my salad is? Gone. What am I gonna do about my potassium now?
Broke protocol for buffet rules. I was excited to get Uncle Beef on camera more, and I cut in front of a guy to get some chocolate lava cake. And the guy said nothing. Further proof you can do anything you want in this world. if you're assertive and you don't care.
I'm sure it didn't hurt that you were like 3 times the size of that guy. And you're just like, I would say something for lava cake, but I'll just let this one pass. That is prison rules. All right, we'll continue that here in a little bit. It goes on forever. Rocco on 2.1 KFMA. Welcome back, Beef Vegan Presents. Real quick, I got a concert announcement that was just passed my way. This is huge for reggae fans out there, especially if you love Bob, because the Marley Brothers, all of them, are going to be jamming together. That's Ziggy, Steven, Julian, and Damian Marley. And also Kaimani, which I don't know. That's the lost Marley brother. Bob Marley had like 20 kids during his life. He really believed in spreading the seed. Yeah. And the Legacy Tour is what it's called. It's going to be at September 12th at the Talking Stick Resort Amphitheater. But yeah, this is the first time in my recollection that all 5 Marley brothers all share the stage, all of course covering and, paying homage to their late father's amazing catalog. And maybe they'll throw in some Damian Marley songs in there too, because Damian Marley's got some bangers. If you don't know, Stephen Marley, I would listen to Dad's stuff, but Damian Marley.
Are you saying that Stephen Marley is comparable to Stephen Baldwin?
No, that's harsh.
Kind of like the forgettable brother.
No.
Okay.
Stephen's been doing his part to carry the torch, and is most likely like his famous dad, but without the martyrdom dumb or whatever that you want to call it. So he didn't have, and he grew up, of course, with a life of a little bit of luxury, I would assume. With Damien was more finger on the pulse, trying to move reggae music forward. So as Steven would kind of do basically a great cover version of his dad's music and his work, Damien was like, no, this is what it would sound like today, kind of stuff. And he put together some great songs in the process, but all of them sharing the stage and touring together, that's a sight to see. And that's going to be happening September 12th at Talking Stick Resort and Amphitheater up in Phoenix. So it's another Phoenix show, but I'm sure we'll be giving away tickets to that show all week long as well. I don't have tickets right now, I believe.
I must say, though, Talking Stick Resort and Amphitheater and the casino and all that stuff, I had not seen it yet. We went to the Great Wolf Lodge this last weekend.
Oh, nice.
And that was our view, was the building. The whole side is lights. And it was just like rainbow lights and like patterns and all kinds of stuff. I didn't realize that. The Talking Stick Resort.
Oh, yeah, Talking Stick Resort, yeah.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of cool. I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, well, because it's Vegas style. And, you're going to see, I said years ago that the 101 up in Phoenix is going to look like the Vegas Strip eventually because, Indian reservations and casinos can now buy land and declare it sovereign nation. That's happening right in Midtown with Casino del Sol making their Grant and I-10 location being announced. In fact, actually, they just released some graphics on that last week. It looks pretty cool.
It does.
And of course, it's going to be right in the heart of town. So they bought that area, which used to house a movieplex, and they called it, they designated sovereign land, and now they open up that casino, and it will be very similar to the Casino del Sol that is on your way towards Mexico. So like the whole design, everything. Even on the inside, it's
just going to be interesting to have a casino midtown because like everybody's so used to driving 35 minutes southwest.
Right.
So it'll be, I'm hoping they also do, I think they were also talking about doing kind of like an activity entertainment complex in there as well, besides the casino.
I'm sure, I just know that I take Grant Road to get onto the 10 to go to work. And I know I'm going to have to get a different way to work. And it's going to mess up traffic. So that's going to suck. But it's definitely going to clean up that area, which is much needed. And there are pros and cons of having a casino in town. And, you kind of think of it as in a way like one, the pro is going to bring jobs, right? Is it going to take away jobs or make the traffic at Casino del Sol original location? Is that going to go down? You would assume so.
Are we going to lose the drive-through liquor store?
Why?
I don't know, because I know that they're buying up more plots than just the theater.
Well, is there a drive-through liquor store in that area?
Yeah.
Well, don't be a crackhead. You don't need to go to that one. I mean, honestly, in that whole area is sketch as hell. So
it's
if you're
super
driving
sketch.
through for some Mad Dog 2020, you got serious problems in your life. But I'll say, as me personally, I'm in my 40s right now. I'm like technically single and everything. I'm just like, oh, okay, well, this is a good spot I could necessarily go to for a couple drinks and to mingle and maybe blow some money.
Right.
Too tempting though. At the same time,
Way too tempting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right now the detour is like, oh God, I got to drive 35 minutes. Oh crap! Now I only got to drive 5.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's a quick Uber away. So super affordable. They know what they're doing. But yeah, so you see that up in Phoenix, that's been happening for years as they continue to develop more and more casinos. And it's inevitable down here as well. So I'm sure Desert Diamonds are looking at Casino del Sol and they're like, oh, you son of a bitch, you're going to be in town? Okay, we'll figure out a way. Maybe we'll be on Ina. Maybe we'll hit that like Foothills Mall and just turn that into a casino. But
that would be awesome.
Well, I don't know. I mean, with all the casinos around town is great. We need expendable money. So like income needs to go up for us to really appreciate and enjoy these casinos.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. All right. Well, we have a top 5 that I want to share with you real quick, and science related top 5 in dating news. A study found attractive people are seen as more trustworthy. Which I think the opposite. I see a good looking person. I'm like, you lying son of a bitch. I don't know what it's about. I don't know what. Yeah. I don't believe it. Words coming out of your gorgeous mouth. Anyways, a second study found that most single people are introverts who prefer staying in, which also a lot of them like being single. Of course, that's what they said, just to kind of perp themselves up,
make them feel better.
Yeah. So they wouldn't cry
this
themselves
is by
asleep.
choice.
Yeah, totally. I will say that I'm becoming more and more of an introvert as a single man, and almost like anxiety to go out, but it got to change that. And I guess it does make sense because if you're going out more, you're putting yourself in social situations, you're more likely to meet somebody and then, link up. In bathroom news, if you're a man over 50 who constantly has to pee, there's an app on the way for you. Urologist developed it to offer pelvic floor training and bladder control tips. Yeah. So I guess you need.
Wait, whoa. There's pelvic floor training for men too?
Yeah, man. We have pelvics too.
No, I'm aware, but usually you hear more about it for women.
Yeah, well, that's only because it's men telling women to do Kegels. But for this, it has to do with urine. And apparently that's an issue as you get older.
Mm-hmm.
Scientists in the Netherlands think they found a specific gene that makes left-handed people. And only 10% of the world is left-handed. Are you left-handed?
I am not.
Oh, okay, good. So you're not a freak.
No.
Well, I guess there's a gene that makes you a left-handed person. So according to scientists in Netherlands. And finally, in music news, researchers played people different songs and asked them how they felt, where they felt the music, right? So if I played a song for you and you feel something, where do you feel it?
In my chest.
You feel it in your chest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, that's a common answer in a way. They say your head, your heart, and your stomach are the most common answers. The lead author says it shows music isn't just something we listen to, and it's experience felt throughout the entire body. And I concur on that. In fact, actually, most of my favorite highs are those music highs.
Mm-hmm.
When you're at a concert, you get those goosebumps and it's like touching your soul.
Mm-hmm.
Then you turn around and you realize it's a guy with a beer in his hand who got a little too comfortable. And you're like, whoa. I didn't give you access to the soul.
We are not spooning.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, there's your.
Depending on the band, I must say Sleep Token makes me definitely feel things, but not in my chest.
Ah, yes. I see that.
Mm-hmm.
I can guess where your butt, right? No, I'm just kidding. All right, we're keeping the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. We got more of Rico and mine's adventure at Sweet Tomatoes and a bunch more. That's it. Great tease. Music on the way from Lenny Kravitz.
Just
Rock
keep
102.1. Yes, please. Clear. I know. It's a way to not stick the landing, huh?
Yeah. Not going to happen every time.
Right. Let's see. Looking at the comments. Let's watch the rest of this Scorsese cut of Rico and I going to Sweet Tomatoes. Check this out. My oyster crackers were in the bag.
Wait. Was it open or closed?
Closed.
They took your brand new package of oyster crackers?
Yeah.
All right, here comes the bad Yelp review.
I messed up, man.
What happened?
See you next time. Be right back. It's a pun and it protects your food.
And we didn't even see it till now.
Well, they can clean it up now.
Womp. Is it good?
10 out of 10. So much fiber. I gotta go to the bathroom again. Gio, manager of Sweet Tomatoes. When did Sweet Tomatoes open?
It opened on April 1st, sorry.
Yeah, and has it been this busy, like a line around the building from
Very
open
consistent.
to close?
Yes, sir. Yep.
Okay, so what time would you recommend people to come out and try it if they're looking for the slowest time?
Right now, I don't believe we have a slowest time. I say just come on in whenever you're ready, and we'll get you in as fast as we can.
Nice. And of course, this is the only Sweet Tomatoes in the world.
Yes, sir.
Are they going to be opening up other Sweet Tomatoes that you know of?
Not that I know of right now.
Is this going to consistently be the only Sweet Tomatoes?
Right now, yes, sir.
And have all the girls been sliding your DMs because you're working at the only Sweet Tomatoes in the world? Now's the time. This Gio's the only Sweet Tomatoes in the world. He's running this place. Thanks, Gio. What makes you willing to stand in line for Sweet Tomatoes?
I like salad.
I got a question. You guys stand in line for Sweet Tomatoes. Kids, what are you not doing in Coachella right now?
Coachella?
Yeah,
I'm
aren't
on
you?
the job.
If you eat enough spinach salad, it gives you the same effect as Molly. Same effect. Speaking of songs to slap real quick, can I play you a song that my friend's band made for Sweet Tomatoes? We're trying to sell it to this
Trying to
place.
sell it to them?
Yeah, as a jingle. Ready? I'm about 36 in.
In this humble town, there's a gem you won't find anywhere else. A haven for silent lovers, a taste that you can't help. Sweet Tomatoes is the name, a place that brings delight.
Well, that wasn't supposed to stop right there. I just had Weirdo bobbing her head too, to the song.
Mhm.
Anyways,
Shut up.
yeah, well, I had to clarify, dude. The song is super catchy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was clarifying. It's just because I'm just like, oh, of course.
I got it.
Okay, I just want to.
Okay, what is with everybody feeling like they have to explain fucking jokes to me?
Well, no. I just
Because
wanted.
sometimes you do it. My boyfriend definitely always does it. And then most recently, my husband picked up doing it. I'm like, guys, I got the joke. I just sold you on it.
Okay, you just thought it was not funny. Well, sometimes I have to fill you in. Like, you didn't know what an upper decker was. So sometimes I have to explain
I
to
still
you.
don't know.
Right. Oh, yeah, I still didn't tell you. And that's fine. You could look that up and have that in your algorithm. But
that's something that, like, there has been times where I've had to tell my partners, like, please don't look at my search history for Google. I swear it's related to work.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I know. I mean, what are you going to Google now that are you even doing social media at all now that you're going to be working at Rustic Spa? I mean, well, that's marketing. So you're going to just give up on all the marketing tips that I taught you over these years?
No, I'm still going to be, especially using CapCut for like sizzle reels to like show off my hair and, hair skills and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But like, it's a lot of posting and running. Like, I just don't scroll anymore.
Yeah.
Even in this last week. So my kids go to a private school that actually completely discourages any screen time. We're actually the weird family that allows our kids a couple hours on the weekends.
Yeah.
And they actually posted something for spring break of like, try to really do no screens. And of course we did because WrestleMania. But for the most part, like, I think maybe twice I got on Instagram last week for maybe 10 minutes. And it's actually quite lovely. I got shit done.
No, I'm sure. Honestly, what I've been doing for my mental health, I guess, is to just put my phone on the charger, put my phone away, and not just endlessly scroll or search for stuff. Now, it's a double-edged sword because I have to put together material for the show. And so I have a certain amount of time that I'm definitely doing that. And then there's just a certain amount of time where I'm purposely unplugging.
Do you charge your phone like when you're asleep in bed? You put the phone in a different room, or is it in the room with you?
It's in the room with me, but here's the thing. So there was a couple things that I've been doing with my stupid little phone. I put it on the charger, put it away from me, so I don't see it, I don't hear it, and I have to kind of unplug before I go to bed. But when I'm feeling restless and I want to go to sleep, I listen to a podcast on my phone.
Okay.
And so I have that on my bed. So the audio is kind of low, but I can hear a little bit of it and it just knocks me out. Honestly, I don't know the power of that podcast. But yeah, I just put it on, set it aside. And then within seconds, I feel like because I have no recollection when I do that. And I went to bed so early last night. Last night I went to bed before I was around 7.
Oh,
right?
wow.
I woke up an hour before my alarm went off and started, working on today's show because I was just like, yeah, I'm up, I'm refreshed, whatever the case. But I remember I put on the podcast was the last thing I remember. And then I set my phone face down so I don't see it. And then out, dude, like NyQuil.
I totally used Taylor Tomlinson's newest comedy special. She talks about like somebody give me like a weird trick to work for insomnia to go to sleep. And she talked about somebody suggested that you lay face down on the tile in your kitchen or your bathroom. I had to do this the other night.
You had to lay face down on
so you do it for 10 minutes and then you go back to bed and you're asleep immediately. I had to use it the other night because I could not sleep.
Okay, so why? Because you brought your core temperature down?
I don't know if it has to do with that or if it's just like, this is uncomfortable. Now I'm in my bed and I'm comfortable now. Now I can relax and go to sleep. I don't know what it is.
That's disgusting.
But it works.
You went face down on your bathroom or your kitchen floor. This is the most traffic you get in a house. That's got to be in the kitchen.
Fair enough. My girlfriend's got OCD. We've got a really clean house.
I understand that, but would you eat off that floor?
Yeah.
Okay, well, because you apparently were licking it and kissing it. So, I mean, and did you actually go face down and put your head to the side?
I put my face to the side a little bit.
Okay, just a little bit. And, and your partners knew you were doing this, so they weren't, okay.
No.
Yeah, well, then you need to give them a heads up.
Right, no, so they don't step on me. No,
don't freak out that you're dead, dude. You look like a dead body in the kitchen. Are you kidding me?
I'm already pale enough. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I did tell them the next morning what I did because, I obviously sleep between two partners and they're like, why'd you get up? And I was like, my head was kind of bothering me and I just couldn't, like, I was just restless. Like I kind of dozed off for a little bit. And then normally my other trick is I go read for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
To kind of get the eyes droopy again, whatever. But I was like, you know what? Let me try this. And it worked.
All right.
It freaking worked.
Yeah, I don't want to do that because I would terrify my daughter if she got up for like a midnight snack. Be like, no, Dad, no.
No, and there's no inheritance.
Yeah, and honestly, the kitchen floor, but isn't all of your house tiles? So wouldn't any part of your house work?
Shut up.
Okay.
I didn't think of that.
Jesus. You needed cabinets and stuff
I
surrounding you?
should have just done it in the hallway.
Yeah, duh. Jesus. Oh my God. You're like, no, I need a refrigerator close by.
I guess.
That's the secret. That's the key, right? Like, no, I don't think so. You should Google that. Yeah. And Lindsay's like, just take melatonin. I can't take melatonin.
I take melatonin and L-theanine and sleep herbs. Because I used to be somebody that had to be on Xanax. So yeah, so that's what I transitioned to, my all natural hippie prep.
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess, a transition away from doing the morning show and stuff, you're going to be able to stay up a little bit later with your partners on most nights.
And we're still getting up at 5:20.
That's good.
Yeah, no, there will still be a routine.
Okay.
But for sure, the 3 days a week, not having to get up at 4:30. Did somebody just say I like indica? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's Aaron.
That's good stuff too.
Yeah. So
do that a couple times a week.
I earlier this morning I played Weirdo like a farewell song, as I was messing around.
I almost got teary-eyed.
Oh yeah.
I was like,
you like the way I express myself through artificial intelligence? Yeah, that's good. Because there's more, but not as sentimental. So what I played her that made her teary-eyed was the Weirdo's farewell song. And I'll just play you just the first 40 seconds.
In the corner of the screen, she always caught our eye. With her quirky stories, she made us wonder why.
Why, Weirdo? Why?
From alien abductions to the world's largest spoon, she brought the weird and wild every afternoon.
Morning.
Yeah. We're gonna miss her weird news and the wild confession sessions too. But most of all, we'll miss her dazzling smile and the tales of an amazing, crazy sex life.
Yeah, crazy sex life. Yep.
She shared her strangest secrets.
All right, so of course that's not in Weirdo's style.
Not even close.
I said metalcore. Give me metalcore for the second version, and this is that version of that. Nah, I don't know if it slaps. We'll see. This is not metalcore.
It might get harder.
Yeah, that's every woman's optimistic on that, but the reality is no.
Oh, so odd. Kept us on the edge of our seats. Now we're left craving more.
All right, now let's try this. No, yeah. So
in the darkness,
Weirdo resides. So yeah, so I'll come up with a better Bon Voyage song for you by the end of the week.
Okay.
Yeah, so something to work on. It's funny too because a lot of people are having fun with this AI software and the stuff that's out there. And I was talking to the sound guy for the Tucson Roadrunners. His name's John. And I was talking about this. He's like, dude, I've been using it. And he's a vocalist as well. So he's been cutting his own vocals over it. And he made a bunch of Tucson Roadrunners theme songs as we were doing on Friday. We were messing around. And it's hilarious because he was playing them before the game. So he has a captive audience. And yeah, that's so and the audio is not necessarily there as far as like the volume level. So there's a noticeable difference for anybody who pays attention to sound quality. But that doesn't stop John from squeezing them in and being like, here's your new theme song. And it was hilarious. He played them before and after games. So I was cracking up about that. I had a couple that we tried to make up for the Roadrunners with Ryan. Now, the thing is with this AI software is that the vocals always sound a little modulated. So that's the difference maker, how you could kind of point or listen to it and hear and be like, wait a second, that's an AI voice. But that they're working on it so fast that before you know it, you're not going to be able to tell. And I think our favorite and best singers in the world now won't even be real. That's the scary fact of where we're heading at with this. So
I don't know. That sounded very like a lot of them are coming out kind of anime-ish though. Of like,
yes,
this could totally be an opening to an anime.
Oh, I know. And
especially the one Rico came up with. That was fabulous.
I know. That was part of his influence as well, obviously. So he showcased that. And
either that or for right now for AI, it's just all the anime nerds. So that's why it all sounds anime right now.
Yeah, in fact, actually, it's so good too as far as how quick it produces. I'll be able to take certain stories and just copy and paste them in there and be like, make a song like this, just like in ChatGPT. Yeah.
So is this an app or a website?
It's a website. And there's several of them. There's a lot of them out there in the market right now. A lot of them free. And then, of course, you can subscribe. And so like John was using a different website than I was using, but I've heard several people use the one that I'm using. So it's all fun until it's not. Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Let me tell you a story that's kind of terrifying in San Francisco. A couple freaked out as a tow truck driver tried to take their car while they were in it at a red light. Yeah. So like I've had instances and interactions with tow truck drivers who have essentially tried to break the law. And the first time my car got towed from a place in downtown, I had to meet in this very sketchy area, pay cash only. I had to wait like a day. The whole thing left me felt like I was victimized by the whole experience. So the next time that my car got towed, I made sure to look it up. Like, what are my rights? What are the laws? And it was very important that I did so, because when I did finally go down to claim my car, they tried to do all these things, like saying cash only. Cash only is illegal in the state of Arizona, right? So if a tow truck company says, sorry, you can only get your car back if you pay cash, there's an ATM right there. You say, absolutely not. Then you have to give me back my car. By law states that if you don't have a way to take digital currency, ATM cards and debit cards, then you're breaking the law.
Okay, that's good to know.
This is a way for shady companies to double dip and not only get the money from the vehicle that they towed, but also the convenience fees from the ATM that they own and operate as well.
Got it.
But apparently this kind of scam has been happening in San Francisco as well. And now it's going to an extreme as for whatever reason, this woman, Joanne, the last name was withheld, said that she was out running errands with her husband when a truck marked specialty towing started inching uncomfortably close to her car. And that's when she saw the lever of the truck start coming down. There's video that I'll show on the podcast broadcast of the ordeal by just a bystander who was just like, wait a second, this isn't cool. Now, they say that Joanne says that she believes that she was targeted by the driver of the tow truck, who then sped off when the connection to her Corolla wasn't successful. Local media tried to reach out to the company, and they haven't heard a response. But that company, along with two others, have been charged by the city for fraud and illegally towing parked cars. So it's a growing con that's happening in San Francisco. And I don't know if it's happening in other cities yet, but I do know that it is important that if you get your car towed, to look up your rights and the laws in Arizona before you go attempt to get your car back, because, knowledge is key in this situation. And when I had that situation where I was calling them out on the law, I think it was 3 different things that I caught them breaking the law. And I went full blown Karen at that point. I was like, you guys knowingly broke the law 3 times. Give me my car. Right. One of the times was they're supposed to be able to give you back your car within 24 hours. The next day, they can't have a day off. Right. But I had my car towed on a Saturday. I wasn't able to get it till Monday morning. God. And I missed work because of it. Right. I was completely victimized in this situation. So that's why when I came across this story, I'm just like, yeah, man. And I know there's good tow truck drivers out there for sure. Who are doing things legally, but there's also a lot of independent contractors who invest in a tow truck and then just utilize that as a cloak to commit crimes.
Yeah, I mean, even just putting that in right now, like illegal towing right off the bat, Virginia is also passing some laws to take aim at the predatory towing.
See? Yeah, I'm telling you, man.
Apparently is an issue.
Yes, we'll check out the video on the podcast broadcast. Be back with more Beef Vegan Presents right after these words. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. All right, yeah, so I'll share with you this here. I'm gonna boom. All right. So this again happened in San Francisco. And now Joanne's in the car.
So she's driving, and she's just at a red light.
Yes. And so this isn't her filming. It was just someone else walking down the street being like, oh, this is shady as fuck, man.
In the middle of downtown San Francisco, we were basically targeted. And so basically he's just backing up.
And there's one of the taxis with no drivers.
Our car, and we were freaking out. We were calling. We were basically rolling down our window saying hey, what are you doing? You can't be doing that. In broad daylight in the middle of downtown San Francisco, we were basically targeted in broad daylight.
That's crazy, right?
That's terrifying.
Yeah. So even this guy who's filming is like, what the fuck are you doing? It looks like you're trying to kidnap these people.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, you're in a tow truck that says your name and information on it, too. Nothing about this is going to be smooth. And what's the end game, too? So say you hitch them and you tow them. Are you going to take them to the lot and then tell them that they owe you money? They're in the car. They know they've been kidnapped, and they have cell phones, too. So say he gets this car, right? And then they call the cops and say, hey, man, this tow truck just jacked us and we're going down this street. Help. So
I wonder if he would have been successful and got them to the lot, if they would have charged him with kidnapping. I wonder if they would have hauled off and
they would
really charged him with everything.
He would have absolutely got kidnapping charges pressed against him, and rightfully so.
Mm-hmm.
Rightfully so, because that is kidnapping. They were at a light, just waiting, and he's just like, good, someone's behind me, but boom, Corolla, yeah, they got some money. Yeah, 100% kidnapping, absolutely. All right. Let me play some videos from earlier today. We had an excellent edition of Weird News, Weirdo. In case you missed it, it went like this. Check it out. There you go. Rockwell 2.1 KFMA. That was Bush on this Monday morning. Let's get weird with Weirdo. What do you got for us, Weirdo?
Well, when you get pregnant as a woman, there's lots of things that can get real weird real quick.
All right. Well, give me an example. So when you were pregnant, and you've been pregnant several times over, what was the strangest thing that happened to your body?
My feet grew. In fact, now my left foot is a half size bigger than my right foot.
Really?
Yes.
The bones grew?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that is weird.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I had a weird kind of a pregnancy sympathy reaction.
Okay.
I crave fish. Yeah, and I didn't really like fish before my ex got pregnant, but then I just loved fish for whatever reason, and I still love fish to this day, only really because I was showing sympathy during the pregnancy. So
my husband claims that his hips hurt the entire time I was pregnant, and then it stopped once I was done being pregnant.
Sounds like shenanigans, but yeah, it could be in the head. But that's so odd that your foot grew, just one foot in particular.
Yeah.
Why do you mention this?
Well, because there's actually a woman whose nose ballooned while she was pregnant.
Really?
And I didn't know that this was actually a thing. So first time mom went to TikTok and announced that pregnancy turned her nose into a balloon. So Gabrielle is her name, and she did post the picture before she was pregnant and then while she was pregnant. And indeed, her nose grew 2 sizes.
Really? Does it look like she got punched in the face or something?
A little bit.
Oh,
a little
Jesus,
bit. So so it's called pregnancy nose. It's a real thing. The Ohio State Health and Discovery links the phenomenon to hormonal changes, stating estrogen dilates blood vessels, causing swelling around the entire body, including the nose.
Oh, wow. Just imagine now, it got to be rough for her, obviously, because, your body's going through all these changes, and then your nose, you can't avoid that. And it's bad enough if you gain some weight, your face fills out. I know that's rough on some, couples out there for both men and women. Let's say
No.
Yeah. Because you could tell just by nose jobs. The nose can completely change a person's appearance.
It can.
Yeah. So, she can go from a 10 to a 2 based off a busted nose. And does she look like, you saw the before and after pictures? How beautiful did she look beforehand as opposed to after?
Oh, she's a very beautiful woman.
Even still with the busted nose?
With the nose, it just probably down from a 9 to a 7.
There you go.
So not too much. But the fact that it's also the blood vessels dilate as well, you could end up looking like a clown.
Yeah.
Because especially because I had a couple capillaries break on my face while I was pregnant because it happens. So I couldn't imagine it being on the nose.
It's brutal. Yeah.
Sucks.
So if you're going to get pregnant out there, be wary of any kind of rare and uncommon side effects. But it does happen. What else do you have in weird news?
Well, it kind of goes along with women's bodies. Again, I know that you tried Mari's breast milk.
Yes. And I was not a fan. Maybe I was too in my head. but I did dry heave. She swears by it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, it could be that maybe because she's not your partner.
Potentially.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
because there is now to me, this has been a trend. I've had partners try my breast milk before. It wasn't a big deal. But now Kourtney Kardashian is hopping on and drinking her own breast milk for the health benefits.
Is there really health benefits, though?
There is.
Okay, what are the health benefits?
So when I became a first-time mom, they're like, yeah, if the baby gets any kind of like scratch or rub or any kind of anything, breast milk on the actual like wound.
Okay.
Yeah, so that actually does help. And then it helps. It's got all those antibodies in there and everything to make you feel better. And apparently now people are realizing like, oh, I can drink my own breast milk and make myself feel better, not just my baby.
Right. Well, what about men out there who can't drink their own breast milk? Is there any suggestions?
There is.
Okay.
Make sure that it is a partner, because if it's just somebody's random breast milk, you do run, the chance of, because it is a bodily fluid.
Yeah.
Of like infections. Could be bad. But Brody Jenner, the UK reality star, Fern McCann, and many bodybuilders will also drink breast milk.
They're just trying to be cannibals, man.
Mm-hmm.
I really take it back to caveman days. I'm still not on board. I understand, the body produces many marvels, and, we're still trying to figure all of them out today. But it seems like kind of going backwards with medical advancement, not forward. And any like medical advice from the Kardashians, I'm immediately like, pass.
Nope.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah. And it's like, how much silicone gets leaked into that breast milk? Right? It's not 100% organic, is what I'm saying.
That is true.
Yeah. About as organic as McDonald's.
Well, if you don't want to drink breast milk to make yourself feel better, you can join 40% of American adults who still sleep with a stuffed animal.
Are you one of those 40%?
No.
There's no room in your bed with 3 other partners.
No.
I know. Yeah, that's insane to me. 40%.
Mm-hmm.
I have not come across in my years of dating of a bed that has stuffed animals on it since I've become an adult. Right. So that's
but
good.
It's a $9 billion business for stuffies for adults.
Stuffies for adults.
Mm-hmm.
So what makes an adult stuffed animal?
Right, that is true. Like, what is the difference? But yes, Squishmallows.
It's anatomically correct, basically. It's your teddy bear with bits and balls and all that.
Exactly.
Okay.
But Squishmallows is one brand that says young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 account for 65% of their sales. And also, I do know that weighted stuffies are definitely a thing to help with anxiety.
Right. So basically, it's the COVID kids, and they're still stunted, and we're still dealing with the repercussions of that. So yes, that generation is going to have stuffed animals and weighted stuffies and cuddle buddies that they're going to be able to buy to put in their bed all the way up until they're old and gray. And it all started during the last 10 years, and that's terrifying and upsetting. And I'll tell you what. My daughter, who I don't want to out her, she's technically adult, still in school though, has stuffed animals, and
So does mine, and she's 20.
Yeah, okay. So when they say adults, though, it's still just like overgrown
young adults.
kids.
Exactly.
Yeah, because back in the 1920s, you were an adult at 12, you had a mustache, a mortgage, and 3 kids.
Exactly.
So we're just growing up a lot slower. All right, we're back on Rock 102.1 KFMA. Welcome back to Beef Vegan Presents. Just replayed weird news on the podcast broadcast. And in it, there was a story about a woman's nose who grew when she was pregnant. You talked about how your feet grew a size. And apparently that's so common that our streamers, Lisa and Lindsay, had the same thing happen to them. In fact, actually, Lindsay was complaining about to her sister, and her sister was kind of making fun of her. And then her sister got pregnant and her feet grew.
Yep.
So, and it's even after you lose that baby weight too. Because if you think like my buddy Brandon was talking about hat sizes and fitted hats, and his hat size has gone down since he's lost weight. And I was like, yeah, we don't realize when we're fat that our heads are fat too. Right.
Yes.
And then you lose the weight and it's like, oh my God, my head got smaller. But like the fat around your dome did for sure. And so you're going to do that. But your feet grew. And you have a weird shoe sizes, even after you lost all the baby weight, and actually you're in better shape than you haven't been in like your entire life.
Probably since I was a teenager.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah. So when you go buy shoes, do you have to like custom order shoes because one foot's bigger than the other?
No.
Okay, that's good.
No, I just make sure that I get wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know that sounds really weird, but I need the extra room in the toe box as well.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, it just is
super
what
gross.
it is.
I mean, if you listen closely, that's the sound of our audience losing their wood. No, I don't know why I made it so gross. Well,
Or a very, very select few of our audience just got it because they like feet.
Okay, well, yeah, and wide feet. So, and then that's the only repercussion that you got from being pregnant was your feet getting bigger?
Yeah, but also like I got my tiger stripes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so, and then also probably the thing that's driving me the most insane is I still have loose skin on my stomach, which like is fine until like I barely move or bend over, and then I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you know what? That's all just like a badge of honor and stuff.
Yeah.
MILFing. In fact, actually, it's a category in its own right. So, and I'm sure your 1,700 partners, I exaggerate.
Jesus.
I know. I exaggerated by 1,997. But yeah, like all your partners dig it. So I guess that's all that matters, right?
Well, in fact, like the times that I'm being a little down on it, like my boyfriend is actually really sweet. He's like, honey, just fill it with muscles. Yeah. I was like, yeah, that's true. I'm working on it and trying to get to 100 grams of protein a day. God, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah, but I'm glad that you took that as a positive because, when my ex was telling me to fill it with muscles while I'll be eating a donut, I'm like, get off my back.
No, every time we go to the gym, I'm like, time to put my feelings in my muscles. It's a really good therapy.
Oh, good for you. We're going to keep the conversation moving on the podcast broadcast. Got a beef tip coming up after these words. Keep it right here. It's Rock 102.1 KFMA. Clear.
Yes, Lisa, the pregnancy mask. They are dark spots on your face. I have a couple of them still.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. They by the time you're done with it, though, they kind of just look like freckles. But there's some people that will get like huge spots on their face.
Right. Lindsay was like, I was like, no baby over here, just my sister. And she told me that I have baby making hips and big feet, etc. I wear 7.5 and now she wears 8.
Yeah.
Yes, revenge is sweet. You look at those 7.5 shoes, be like, look how dainty they look. Look how petite and feminine these 7.5 looks. And then look at your clown shoes with the 8.
I think a half size is only like a 2 centimeter difference of that.
Yeah. I know, Todd. Sometimes I can't help myself, and I need to get myself in check when it comes to that. Well, you don't have to agree so quickly. Jesus. I mean, I am still trying to do like a comedy show, and unfortunately, that is a very hacky go-to.
It is.
Okay, stop agreeing so fast. Jesus, I get it. I'm just saying.
You're going to miss me.
Not right now, I'm not.
You're like, in fact, get out.
Yeah.
You're 2 weeks, we're good. We don't need you to fulfill it.
Yeah. Earlier this morning, we had a fantastic F My Life. And in case you missed it, it went a little something like this. Check it out.
Loving by your mom.
Awkward.
It is awkward.
Did you do something that got you fired from your job?
I just get stupid.
It's fun being stupid.
Don't hide this in vain. Let us laugh at your pain. Call 600 KFMA right away.
I promise we won't embarrass you.
Because Beef Vegan presents F My Life. F My Life. F My Life.
Yes, it's time for another edition of Your F My Life. These are unfortunate situations. Email to us at beefvegan@kfma.com. Subject line FML. But of course, if you have an F My Life you care to share on the air, you can give us a call at 600 KFMA at 605-362. If Weirdo and I agree your life is F, we may hook you up with tickets for the Great 420 Fest this Saturday at The Rock. Here's our first email. You ready, Weirdo?
I am.
All right. Emma sent me this and she said, hey, Beef, the other day I found out that my boyfriend is bringing his friends on our trip. I'm now the third wheel on a romantic trip we planned for a year.
Oh.
Does that suck?
Yeah.
It doesn't suck for her boyfriend because he gets to like party with the boys and still have romantic time.
Yeah, but no, don't invite your friends on a getaway with your partner. Don't do it.
Right? Yeah, I guess you're right there. All right, F your life, Emma. All right, next email sent to me by Jonathan. Jonathan said, one time I was attacked by a bird at 3 a.m. The bird was being attacked by an owl and decided that the safest place to land wasn't in a tree, but my face.
Oh.
No one believed me despite the 12 stitches across my face.
Wow.
Yeah. But you got to believe me. They're like, yeah, okay, dude.
Hold on. 3 a.m. Where was this dude?
Well, it is Tucson, so there's a lot of questions we don't really want answers for, right? But this is why you don't hang out at 3 o'clock in the morning outside, dude.
No.
It's animals' domain.
No, go to bed.
Yeah.
But that still sucks. F your life.
Yeah,
And the fact that nobody believed you, that's rude.
Yeah, well, that's just a whole other thing, right? I mean, it really opens up like a can of questions that I can't ask Jason or Jonathan. Thank you for listening. All right, next email sent to me by Marlon. Marlon said, today I was talking to my tattoo artist about how my girlfriend broke up with me. She had also gotten her tattoos from him, so they had talked quite a bit. He then told me that she'd been cheating on me with her ex for 2.5 months. And he didn't tell me because he didn't want to lose the business.
Oh.
Yeah, Marlon sent this. And I mean, tattoo artists are like makeshift psychologists or psychiatrists, whatever. And the fact that this woman would reveal so much during a session is not surprising, but it is upsetting.
Yeah. Well, considering, so I'm a hairstylist, and yeah, I've had some major confessions in my chair.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Infidelity confessions, too?
Uh-huh.
Brutal.
Yeah. Infidelity, theft, all kinds of things.
Yeah.
But I don't, other than that general high level, I don't repeat them.
That's so funny because I don't know. I know there's a barbershop culture where there is talking, but I am not part of that culture. I am a guy who sits down in the chair. You do a couple quick small talk things, and then you just sit there quietly waiting for it to get done. But yes, that's enough of my life, Marlon. And, look at this tattoo artist. I didn't want to lose business, and it looked like I was going to get an extra customer out of it. Brutal. All right, next up my life sent to me by Jason. Jason said, when moving to Tucson, my wife and I were on a cross-country trip. At the rest stop, my wife complained of foot pain. I said, use your cruise control. And she replied, what's that? So then I spent the next 10 minutes teaching my 30-year-old wife what cruise control is, how it works, and how it differs from Tesla's autopilot.
My God.
That's funny. All right, we're back here live. There was a headline I want to. I'll ask you tomorrow, Aaron, about interest rates because this headline was terrifying. Here, I'll share it real quick. Is mom forced to sell her dream car after forking out $40,000 in interest alone over 3 years? So she was paying $1,400 a month, right, for her car payment. Rock 102.1 KFMA. We're back. Beef Vegan Presents. Let's talk about interest rates and cars real quick. I'll wrap this up. But this headline grabbed my attention: how a mom was forced to sell her dream car after forking out $40,000 in interest alone over 3 years, as America's auto debt spirals to $1.6 trillion.
Whoa!
Now, GM Financial was the name of the lender. She was paying $1,400 a month in payments, totaling more than $50,000. And then she looked to see how much she still owed on her car. She still owed $74,000 to the lender. She originally bought the car for $84,000. So she only took $10,000 off of what she was owed to her lender, but then spent somewhere along the lines of $40,000 in interest alone. That's
similar to college crap right now. With the college debts.
Yeah. They got to figure that out. And I know it's a little more complicated than that. And Aaron is our Tucson car guy. I'll talk with him tomorrow on the podcast broadcast to get some advice and give us an explanation onto that. And, the state of the auto business right now with that. I know that when I bought my car and I got my little loan, and I made sure I got it at a good time. I had a low payment and I paid extra, obviously, on my monthly, and it was enough to so I didn't spend as much on the interest, and that's what you want to do, really.
Right.
And it's somewhat of your beef tip, right? So if your car payment is $500 a month, you're going to want to pay $700 or $800 a month. Just that way you don't get jacked on the back end.
And make sure that you are denoting that you want that extra amount to go towards the principal.
Yeah, I know. And look, so many people have that, mentality of getting a car at a certain price, thinking that's the price that they're paying, and when really that interest just inflates that. And sometimes people are paying 2, and in this case would have been 3-4 times what she agreed to pay for that car. Which, wasn't even that nice of her car. A Chevy Tahoe as your dream car. Get out of here.
Yeah.
All right. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, it looks nice. I couldn't afford a Tahoe, but yeah. So we'll talk to you, Aaron, your Tucson car guy, tomorrow about interest rates, and that's my beef tip to you. Always, figure out the interest, pay more than your monthly, and make sure you try to get that car payment out of the way as quickly as possible. If not, you're essentially just renting it. And if that's the case, I also want to talk to Aaron. Like, why not lease? If interest rates are out of control right now, like I'm thinking about getting a new car, why not just lease it? Because I want to rent it. I just want a car a year. I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't have an emotional connection to the car. I want it to look good enough for me to drive around town and then give it back to you, give me something new, and continue to pimp down Speedway. All right, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for listening to the show. Drive safe, ride safe, and rock local. Later.
When you wish
that was our ending somehow.
Soon will come and
rates are high, just higher than recent history. All right. Okay. Aaron, expected invite tomorrow.
I will
talk to you later. Thank you guys.